house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush you? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
Yo.
We got Bam in the control booth.
What up?
This is episode 251. We are on to the NFL Conference Championship weekend. The College Football National Championship is in the books. Your Indiana Hoosiers are the reigning and defending national champions, which, who the hell saw that coming? It doesn't feel real. We'll get to it in a breakdown here. But, yeah, Indiana. National champions of college football. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. We're getting steamrolled in the postseason right now in the NFL. Had an incredible regular season, 60% against the spread over the course of a shitload of games, 100 games, basically. And it's been a rough go. You jinxed us. You said we dominate the postseason. You said we killed the postseason every year, which I did have a memory pop up from last year. At this point in time, we were coming off of a 6-0-1 week in the divisional round of the playoffs. Or maybe it was the wild card. I don't know. But at this point in time last year, that's where we were. That's not where we are this year. But we've had about as unlucky of bounces as you can get. And I would make all the same picks again, just not all of them. Let me rephrase that. We'll get to that recap too. But wouldn't make all the same picks, but I would bet the Rams again. I would bet the Packers last week. I would bet the over in Bills-Jags. So it just hasn't – it's the way this game goes. There's regression. If you run super hot, you can probably expect there to be a cold streak around the corner. But we're going to get back to the window starting this week. So, yeah, Indiana, national champs. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, big surprise, I guess, starting from the beginning of the year. And really kind of, I think some people probably expected them to, take a step back after making the playoff the year before.
I wouldn't have been shocked if they did.
But, yeah, I guess it's a kind of maybe something a lot of other teams will look at, too, is recruiting older players with experience in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I think that certainly has got to be the way you attack your roster because, LSU had a super expensive roster with no experience and I mean, not no experience, but you know what I mean. You can get all the young, shiny new weapons, but you got to coach them up. They got to be coachable. You got to have people that have been there before. So it's like Dante Moore, super talented, hasn't played much. He's got 15 starts under his belt. Yeah, I think it's crazy. I'm old enough to remember when Indiana started flirting with being good, when Michael Penix was the quarterback, and then he got hurt, and then he got hurt again and again and again, and then he left. But there was like rumblings, like Michael Penix Jr. in the Heisman conversation at Indiana, I remember, and then he tore his knee up. That kind of laid the groundwork for where you are now. But if you would have told anybody that Indiana, who just hired a new football coach, the worst, most losingest program in the history of college football, just hired this guy Curt Cignetti from James Madison, and he's going to win a national championship in 2 years, that would have been the craziest thing you could have told anybody in terms of college football. But he did it. It's pretty damn impressive. And he's got I don't know if him and Saban like each other, but they've got the same vibe. Like Saban picked Bama against him, Saban picked Miami against him. There feels like a little cold shoulderness, I guess. And then I'm assuming like Cignetti, he left because he didn't feel like he was getting enough opportunity, and he wanted to be a head coach. But they feel like the same person from an outside point of view looking in, the perspective, it seems like they're just as prepared, just as well coached. They have the same kind of demeanor, and they're very cocky and confident in themselves, and they back it up. So for you to say fucking Google me, I win at Indiana, go to the college football playoff year one, and then win the whole fucking thing the next year with a different quarterback is insane, in my opinion. Like, I think, like I've always said, I like the people that talk shit and are capable of backing it up. If you talk shit and you fall on your face, you look like a fool. But if you talk shit and then you cash the check, it's like, okay, Jesus Christ. Like, he's going to be the biggest. He's the biggest in college football overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight. Like, the face of the sport in terms of, like, and he's kind of funny. Like, he's not like a complete stick in the mud. He just kind of seems grumpy. But when he talks, like, he'll laugh a little bit. Like, Saban was always like, he'll give you nothing.
Yeah.
Like Cignetti will give you a little bit. I could see him up there. Like, Marcus Freeman did a great job, I felt like, in terms of making himself look likable and things like that, or personable. I could see Cignetti doing that, like going up on the game day booth, which that's a story for another day. Marcus Freeman didn't want to go play in the bowl game because they didn't want to appease ESPN, but then you're going to go sit up there and buddy rub elbows with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
The dots didn't connect for me on that one, but yeah, so we'll save the actual, like, dive into the recap breakdown for 10, 15 minutes from now whenever we jump into that. But what else is going on? Anything? We've got 3 football games left, sorry. And then we're done again. And we're back to sweating out free throws in college basketball and cursing about 18-year-old kids who fucking melt under the bright lights. But we'll get to that when we come to it. We are going to be possibly this weekend dipping our toes back into, collectively at least, into college basketball waters. I have a little bit, and I'm looking forward to it, but I know it's going to piss me off more than anything in the world. So, and I've already gotten a little taste of it. I think I'm 3-3 to start the year so far. But yeah, what else is going on? Bam, you got anything?
Sean McDermott, gone.
Yes. Yeah, I meant like, yes, Sean McDermott did get fired. That's not what I meant. I mean, like, you got it. And is there anything outside of football, I guess? But yeah, Sean McDermott's gone. Obviously, Tomlin stepped down. Harbaugh's coaching the Giants now.
The Titans are reportedly hiring Robert Saleh.
It's Saleh, but
Saleh.
Or maybe it might even be Salah. Who cares? Yeah, what a bunch of bozos. That got kind of swept under the rug, and we're just kind of riffing at this point. But why the fuck did they get rid of Mike Vrabel? You're gonna go get another defensive guy. I'll say it nicely. You're going to go get another defensive mind who looked like a shitbag with the Jets and maybe got a short end of a stick here or there, and their owner is a moron. But you let Vrabel go, the Patriots go, holy shit, kick O.J. Mayo to the curb because they just let go of a top 5 coach. He's going to win fucking Coach of the Year. He's going to win Coach of the Year. He's going to possibly bring his team to the Super Bowl in what, year 2? Is this the second year?
Yep. No, this is his first year.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because OJ. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, Mayo was
Drake May's rookie year.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. The Titans are so dumb, dude. These organizations, it blows me away. Because you think, wow, these are like billion-dollar teams, and all these people are making so much money, but then they make the most ridiculous mistakes and decisions that you'll ever see. And it just goes to show you, like, that's happening in all the companies across the fucking country. Like,
yeah.
Just because people get paid a lot of money doesn't mean they know what they're doing. But yeah, McDermott is out. Do you think McDermott should have been fired?
I don't know. I mean, possibly. I think, it's like maybe it's undoubtedly going to be the most attractive opening available now.
Yeah, I mean, I would put the Ravens in that category maybe. But you don't think?
Their quarterbacks.
Well,
Not
okay,
Josh
on
Al-
paper,
not Josh Allen.
yes, but the roster's better. That defense is superior.
Yeah, it is. But
in my
most of
opinion.
them, they don't have a quarterback now.
I agree with that, but on paper, you've got a back-to-back MVP or whatever, 2-time MVP quarterback. I agree. But we're going to have a conversation here about Josh Allen in about 5 seconds. So, which we'll get to that. But, yeah, I'm not clutching my pearls over McDermott getting fired. This is you see this often, and you have a franchise that is bad and historically bad. He probably came in shortly after, I would imagine, like when E.J. Manuel was playing quarterback for the Bills. Like, they fucking stunk. And then you go get Josh Allen, you've got McDermott, and that was coincided together. So it's like, yeah, McDermott brought you stability and turned you into a perennial winning team that can't get over the hump. But that's also because you also got Josh Allen, and you found a franchise quarterback who's the best player in football on paper. But, yeah, I'm not clutching my pearls over it because it's year after year that you come up short. And in Sean McDermott's defense, I think Josh Allen's had the ball all but one of the last like 5 or 6 times they've come up short in the playoffs with a chance to go win the game and didn't do it. So you would like him to fucking go win the game a couple of those, you know? So, yeah, I'm not clutching my pearls over it. I don't think I think he made questionable decisions throughout every single postseason run, it felt like, where I was kind of scratching my head, like, why would you do that? And he seemed like the players liked him, and he was a nice guy, and I don't know that he was one of those, like, on the cutting edge, like, genius level, whatever, game planners, you know? Seemed kind of like if you were picking your build in Madden of, like, what you want your coach to be, he was, like, the player-friendly coach. And then you had to have good coordinators like Joe Brady and whoever around him. So who do you think they go get? Because Harbaugh's off the market now. Do you go get Mike McDaniel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what
he hates the fucking cold.
I don't know what their
That might be the move, and that wasn't a premeditated thought, but that might be the move. He can call fucking off. Well, they got Joe Brady too, though, so it's like, do you just promote Joe Brady? But I do think Mike McDaniel is a top-notch offensive mind. I just don't know that he's necessarily the best like leader of men, but maybe he is. I don't fucking know. He looks feminine and cold. If it's fucking below 70, he looks cold. So, but yeah, I mean, you don't. Who would you target? Mike Tomlin?
I don't know what's up. Don't they? So the Steelers still have the rights.
Yeah, that's true.
So they would have to make some type of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange how, like, you know, so many teams have fired their coach, but it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's questionable when this many teams do it, and it's like, what are y'all going to do? Play?
Well, there's only so many available.
Carousel?
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Yeah, well, they're talking about Mike McCarthy to the Steelers. Like, what are we doing? I don't understand. You might as well promote Arthur Smith. Like, just put Arthur Smith with the fucking main headset on. I just don't get this, like, it's going to be the same guys, and around we go. Salo, we're going to give you another chance. And like, somebody, they gave Hafley. The Dolphins gave Jeff Hafley a job. He stunk at Boston College. I don't even think he had a winning record, but the defense for Green Bay was solid when Micah Parsons was there, dropped off. He was Green Bay's D coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Micah Parsons, I could fucking probably call some successful defensive plays with him rushing the passer, but I felt like he did a good job in Green Bay. Do I think he's not a flashy hire? He's not somebody that I would have went and got. I didn't have much success at Boston College, but not that many people do, I guess. But that's at least someone different, you know? It's like Stefanski leaves the Browns. He's in Atlanta now. They just swap. It's fucking wife swap. It's the show with the fat kid with the I just saw the clip of that today. That's why it fucking popped into my brain, where the nutritionist lady is like trying to make that fat kid eat good food, and he's like, you know what I'm talking about?
The fridge.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, my brain just went off on a tangent there. But yeah, I don't know why they just refuse to. Maybe there's just not that many people, I guess, but there's nobody at the college level that is worth it, you know? What was it? Somebody said the Bills should go kick the tires on Bill Belichick in North Carolina. Same division. He beat the shit out of the Bills for forever. Go stick it to the Patriots. That would be sick.
Yeah.
That would probably be the move if you can retain Joe Brady and go get some weapons. But yeah, so we'll see. What else, Bam? Anything else?
Ankle's feeling a lot better.
Oh, okay. Were you worried about Bam's ankle?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah, Bam, you were walking within 48 hours. Probably less than that.
Yeah, but with some pain, but now there's like minimal pain.
You said it didn't bruise.
No, it didn't.
Your knee bruised more than your ankle.
Yeah, that's true. The ankle's feeling good.
Yeah, so I mentioned to you, Bam has now taken on the role of throwing this year's Super Bowl party because I have the baby and can't just go. It's just harder to stay up as late and be as loud. And priority number one is don't wake the baby up, basically. So Bam is going to have the Super Bowl party at his house. So I asked Bam, what is his like best idea to make this the best Super Bowl party ever? I said, number one thing. What is the number one idea? And he said, we can play games during the timeouts. And I said, this party's going to fucking suck. But I'll give you the floor to clarify what you meant by that, Bam. Like what game? What's the best game you can think of during the timeouts of the Super Bowl when everybody is probably going to want to watch the most expensive commercials on the planet?
I don't know. I didn't get into specifics. I was just throwing something out there.
Well, I mean, there's a million games.
You said top of your head right now.
I said your number one idea.
You said off the top of your head right now, and that's the first thing that came to mind. Okay. I didn't say, we're doing it, but you said idea.
Okay, I'm going to let you in on a secret. We're not doing it. But yeah.
Board games?
Yahtzee?
No. I don't know.
Sorry?
Cornhole or something? I don't know.
We can't just play cornhole before the game starts? We got to time out. Get out there.
Well, we're just, tossing ideas out, but nothing for sure.
2-minute warning. What was the score? Fucking 9-7.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna have to think of something else.
That's all we got? It was a list of one idea?
Yeah, I was just,
Well, have you thought about it? It's been a week. It's been like 4 or 5 days since I asked you that. You got anything else?
No, not really.
What was at the best party you've ever been to? You got to have an idea, though. You've got yard space. You've got a big yard, big property. How many people are you expecting off the top of your head? Give me a rough estimate, low ball number.
20.
20? Jesus Christ.
15.
Less? You're going lower?
Probably 20.
Are you serious? Bam, you threw a house party. There was more than 20 people.
Yeah, I mean, there'll probably be more people that come, but you said low ball number.
Okay, well, that's egregiously low.
What do you want to say, 50?
That's the number that was in my head. You always talk about how you know so many people.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out.
It's the damn Super Bowl.
How many people have you invited?
Probably like 15.
Jesus Christ, Bam. Let's get the numbers up. I asked you. I said, how many people can go? You said unlimited. You said there's no limit.
There is no limit.
So you need to start fucking texting people. This is the Super Bam. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. This is the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're like talking about waiting until it's closer. It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
People are gonna make plans.
But I don't think you're working on it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got to get on the front page. It's the fucking Super Bowl. There's a shitload of people that are going to be having parties. You got to be the first one to say, hey, do you want to come to my Super Bowl party? So then they're obligated.
All right. I'll work on that this week.
Bam, work on it fucking tonight. There's a scenario here, a very real scenario where we have thousands of dollars riding on this game. So it's a pretty big one. What is food? What's food looking like? What's the number one thing that you could have at a Super Bowl party?
Pizza,
Jesus
wings,
fucking Christ.
burgers,
What the
steaks.
fuck is Bam, I need more out of you.
We're gonna.
I need more
We're gonna
out
have
of
a
you.
big grill coming.
You're gonna
Okay.
have to use ChatGPT.
Yeah. Nick loves ChatGPT.
But we got a big grill coming. We're gonna whip up some ribeyes.
But the number one thing can't be pizza.
Ribeyes.
Talk to me about
20
a fucking
ribeyes?
Yeah.
You're fucking
No,
out of your
there's
mind,
gonna be a
dude.
mixture of everything.
It's gonna be New York strip. There's gonna be porterhouse. There's gonna be a couple
Yeah.
fillets.
And yeah, no, we're not giving everybody one ribeye. We're gonna slice them up. People are gonna.
This dude, bam,
With toothpicks, like
you're like if an alien fucking just crash landed on Earth and they were like, throw a party. And they're like, what are humans like? Steak. We're gonna give everyone a fucking porterhouse. Bam.
steak and pizza.
Yeah. What the fuck? Are you supplying the steak? You're gonna make everybody pay at the door? You're gonna pull a Jesse, pay $20 for crawfish? I'm gonna fucking throw it all on the ground before anybody can eat it? This is
No,
gonna be thousands of dollars worth of steaks.
Not getting that many steaks.
So okay, everybody gets 2 bites of fucking.
No,
ribeye.
don't worry about the food. We'll have a nice.
I'm tremendously worried about the food.
No, we'll have a nice platter.
Oh my
Shit.
god. He said, "Don't worry about the food. Everybody, you get one sliver of ribeye, one sliver." When I say what's the number one, I'm thinking like maybe somebody likes a fucking, what is it, a 5-layer dip or some buffalo chicken wings, some sliders. You're like Domino's pizza.
Believe it or not, Reed's on the buffalo chicken dip this year.
Dude, y'all got it. Can we just buy it from somebody that's trained to make it? Oh, man.
It'll be fine. Don't worry.
What are your thoughts? Do you think it'll be fine? Don't worry.
I don't know.
Bam wants to play fucking mini games in the timeouts, and we're going to all share a couple slices of pizza. We're going to go take a bite, pass it to your left. He said ribeye. He said ribeyes with the straight face.
Hey, ribeyes.
Where are you getting the grill from?
Of course ribeyes are good. You don't fucking
Rosie?
get... Oh, God.
How big is it? It's
Pretty big grill.
a trailer?
What?
Is it on a
Do
trailer?
you pull it on a trailer?
No.
How are you going to make steaks for fucking 50 people?
We'll be fine, dude. We've done it before.
No, you have not. You have never made
Not for
steaks for
50
50 people. Oh,
We'll be
man.
fine.
Ben, I need you to lock in all seriousness, because I already said I'll get some food so people have actually something edible to eat. But you need to invite people. You need to lock in. This needs to be a fun party. Especially if the Rams get there. If the Rams don't get there, fucking cancel it. Who cares? But if the Rams get there, you better go all out, Bam. You're only as good as your first Super Bowl party.
We'll do.
Yeah, we'll see. Fucking, we're going to be playing Uno and fucking eating Little Caesars pizza. All right. Anything else before we get to a recap?
Nope.
Oh, me and Bam are doing a season-long golf competition. It's a golf survivor pool, I guess, basically. So you get one golfer per tournament. So we were trying to decide on who to take for this second tournament. Oh, man. So I looked through and I was like, okay, I like this guy. And Bam came back and he was like, why don't we take this guy? Basically, long story short, he's like, he drives the shit out of the ball. So if it's a long course, this might be a good play. And then he texted me like 2 messages later and he said the same thing. If it's a long course, this might be a good play. So I said, okay, I'll look it up because it doesn't sound like he did. It's the 4th shortest course on the fucking tour.
So we pivot.
So we pivot and we go with the guy that I originally said. But I am open to be sold. It's Alex Smalley was Bam's pick. Below tour average in every metric you can look at. But I told Bam he can sell me on it. We don't have to go with the guy that I said. But Bam's just hoping this is a fucking long course.
Yeah.
What do you have to say, Bam? Anything?
I was just throwing names out there. Not a big tournament, so we don't have to pick anybody.
Well, let's not just throw names out there. Let's fucking... I had looked into it. I gave you the guy that I looked into. He's like, what about this guy? Maybe it's the longest course, and he hits it far.
Yeah. We need to do a little bit more research.
But then Bam was like, he's 6th and fucking whatever. He gave me. I said, Bam, they played one tournament. 3/4 of the field haven't fucking played a tournament yet. He's giving me stats from this year. Those are irrelevant to me. You're just going off the last tournament. And by those numbers, we should take the guy who won the fucking thing.
How'd y'all do?
Our guy finished 13th, I think.
The rankings go based off of tournament winnings. So if you pick the winner, you're automatically like $1 million more. So I think we're in like what, 6th?
Yeah, nobody had the winner. Yeah, our guy got like 400K, 300K, something like that. So it was a good start. There's people that it's not a huge pool, but there's people that their guys missed the cut. One guy picked actually I think Thigala made his way up the leaderboard. But there was a shitload of people that at least 8 or 9 people. There's only like 30 something people in this thing that missed the cut. So it's like
so they got zero money. So yeah, but if each tournament's got a different purse, so you kind of want to save the good guys for like the Masters, Players, like those kind of things, because those are like $20 million purses, whereas the ones we're in like right now, kind of the starter ones, they're like $8-9 million purses. So you kind of have to pick and choose wisely.
But
based off the winnings.
What I was trying to tell him was that he said there's only like 30 tournaments for this thing, so it's like we don't have to be that cautious. Like we're like the guy we're taking is. I think he can do well this week. I think like people are high on him. He's a top 50 ranked golfer, but or like just outside of it maybe. But it's like if there's only 30 tournaments, you don't have to be that cautious where you're like, we got to find the no-name guy that's going to make his way into the mix and have a good run. It's like we can still pick fucking like you don't have to be that scared. You can save your top guys for the majors. But you can still take some like I was looking at like Patrick Cantlay. I don't love Patrick Cantlay. It's like we could pick him for fucking one of those middle tier courses, something like that, like a guy on that level. Like, and honestly, with the first pick, we might have went a little too extreme, I guess, because the guy we picked, he is good. He's a top 10. He's just not a big. I just don't like the way he looks. I don't think he's fucking. He's not somebody I wanted to be on. But all right. We're rambling. All right, we'll get to a recap, and then we will give you our best bets for conference championship weekend in the NFL. It's time to find out who goes to the Super Bowl. But before we do that, we'll recap the national championship. The Indiana Hoosiers beat Miami by 6. So Miami covered the 8.5, and that was the whole thing. I was questioning at what point is too much. You saw money pour in on the Hoosiers as expected. But we went out to 8.5, and then a lot of people, it was kind of divided in the quote-unquote sharp community, I guess, where a lot of people still backed Indiana at that number. And I post our episode and all that. I was listening to some people, and a lot of people were expecting this to go out to 10, and then quickly money came in on the Hurricanes, and it never went back. So I think it even touched 7. I saw it touch 7 for a small amount of time. But it closed, 7.5 is where it closed, opening kick. And then the total, I was on the under 47.5. And I know I say it a lot. And this was a season from hell. Do not get me wrong. Worst season I've ever had, worst season we'll ever have. Only way to go is up after this. But my God. I can't stop betting totals, and I can't get a break with betting totals. It reminds me of like every Notre Dame total I've ever taken. There's a block punt, there's a punt return touchdown, there's something. This game was going to go, it was looking like it was going to go way under. And then the difference was the blocked punt for Indiana. But you've got 24 points in the fourth quarter. You've got half the fucking points in the fourth quarter.
10 points at halftime.
Yeah, 10-0. Miami couldn't do anything. So feeling good, under 47.5. Kicking myself because there was a 48.5 before we recorded. By the time we recorded, it came down. That was a critical point. We'll start with this. What do you think? Does this Indiana team make the Mount Rushmore of college football teams of all time?
No.
Bam, do you think?
No.
Okay. What would you make the unbiased line against 2019 LSU?
I don't know. I think coming into this game, I was questioning how good is Indiana, like compared to some of the best teams we've ever seen, and I think this game just kind of proved that they're just
A good team.
they're a really good team, but
Very well coached.
I don't know how talented they really are. They're just a good. They have players that play good football.
Yeah, I came away from this.
So I don't know. I would say it would be like
9.5.
at least 10.
Yeah. No, I would. Somebody tweeted and saying this Indiana team is in the conversation best of all time. I said LSU would win by double digits on a fucking off night, and that's a fact. So you just went out here, and don't get me wrong, I like Fernando Mendoza. I think he's a likable character. I think he's a sweet guy. I think he threw for 186 yards, no touchdowns. I think that this fucking Indiana team would get blown out of the damn water. And we're biased, clearly, and we do this every single year. You're always going to be compared to 2019 LSU because it was the best team to ever touch the turf. Our worst receiver, or our third best receiver, would have been their best receiver. It's like you go down the list, and I came away from this game so much more impressed, as hard to believe as that is, with Kurt Signetti. That was the difference. The difference, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, Miami's more talented. Indiana is way better coached, and they have the better quarterback. But in terms of, like, dude, what's his name? Malachi Toney? The kid's incredible. He's going to be a stud. Fletcher was running all over him. He was averaging 6 yards a carry. A lot of that obviously came on the breakaway run, but I thought he was having success before that. He had 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the defense, that defensive line, dude, that was my whole thing was this was the best Indiana will have seen all year in the trenches, and that was a fact. Mesidor, Bain, Moten, they were dominating the game for a large portion there. And to be quite honest with you, we could have been going into halftime 3-0. That offside from Bain, from Reuben Bain, was terrible.
Yes.
On a 3rd and 13, you give them new life, and then the only thing that could neutralize Miami's defense is a damn draw up the middle. That was their most effective play. And then throwing it to goddamn Charlie Becker, who's going to have probably a 15-plus year career for the New England Patriots. They're going to go get him. That's their type of guy. That's the Edelman which he's probably significantly bigger than them. But you know what I mean? Like, he's
Yeah, he's 6'4".
Yeah, he's bigger, but he's white and he wears number 80. He's Amendola, just taller. Yeah. So, but he's the guy who, like, you throw it to him, he's going to catch it. Some of those throws were not even, like, that great of, like, maybe trying to be a back shoulder, but not really that well placed of a ball, and he's just making great contested catches on 4th down. So, but I came away from this going, Kurt Signetti won this football game for Indiana because you have the block punt. How you allow that to happen, and I'm watching throughout the whole night, like holding my breath whenever they're punting because they were getting close. And they weren't even rushing. Like, that's the thing that blows me away is they weren't sending like an all-out like punt block. They were getting close with just their regular, like, setting up a return. I think I went back and watched. They did not send the house on that one they blocked. They just didn't block him. So I was watching that, and I'm like, I don't know how you allow, like, when they're getting close, for you to then still allow it to happen is crazy to me. Because I'm looking, I'm like, I hope they figure something out here because it was, like, too close for comfort. But then you get the ball, like, perfect example. Obviously, we talked about the 3rd and 13 at midfield. You get offsides, free play. You would have been off the field. Turns out to be a touchdown drive. You're down 10 going into half. But you get the ball to go win the fucking game, and you get to delay a game. You have the ball now. You got to go the length of the field, and you start with a delay of game. That's fucking crazy to me that they allow that to happen. So did Cristobal do anything, like, egregiously dumb? No. But it's the little things like that. And look, they picked up the 1st down, and I understand, but it's the little things like that Indiana just doesn't do. And they're buttoned up and just way more prepared. And With that being said, though, Signetti made a couple questionable decisions there at the end. I don't know how intently or how closely you were paying attention to that. To not call the timeouts at the end of the first half when they wanted to take the field goals, I thought was crazy. I didn't understand that. And then to take the field goal at the end to go up 6, I thought that was crazy. What does that do for you? I get it. Field goal I understand the obvious answer there. But I think you go for it. What was it, 4th and 2? Was it more? It might have been more.
No, I think it was pretty short.
I can tell you here. It was 4th and 4. It was 4th and 4 from the 17-yard line. I'm going for that because that Carson Beck interception was inevitable.
Yeah, I think, really looking at it, it was really, I think Miami played a pretty good game. They were the ones that made the mistakes, and their coach, I think the biggest mistake was kicking it before halftime.
I agree.
I don't know exactly. Like, if Indiana was being aggressive there, they could have stole points there as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a weird situation where Indiana ran it on first down and let the clock wind down way too much for some reason. I don't know exactly what that was, but when he started milking the clock there, I'm like, I can't believe if they kick it, he's going to miss.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't understand how you settle for or whatever it was, a 50-yard field goal. Like, you get there's people that coach to win and coach to get into the halftime locker room, and that's what you fucking get.
Well, it's like, even if you get the field goal, and if Indiana played it properly, they're likely going to get a field goal regardless of what happened, regardless of if you make it or miss it.
Yeah.
So to me, it was kind of head-scratching because Indiana was getting the ball to start the second half. I thought you really needed to make that the final possession of the half.
Yeah.
At least, whether you score or not. So.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, the penalties from Miami,
Yeah, there was more than just the offside.
There was
the
a big face mask.
Oh, my God. And they ended up getting right off the field after that. That's why I tweeted out. They basically went 3-and-out twice. They forced back-to-back 3-and-outs. But to allow that to happen, dude, that's crazy to me. It was, 3rd and 18? It was something around that.
Yeah, they were running it to, punt.
Clearly going to run it. Yeah, you're the first guy to make contact, at the line of scrimmage. What the fuck? That's got to be a non-negotiable. You can't do that. You can't do that. So I thought that was crazy. I thought Carson Beck, clearly not that guy. And that's what, I sniffed it out like a fucking dog years ago. Not that guy. Never will be that guy. Feel sorry for you, but it's just a fact of life. That was the worst interception you could have possibly had in that scenario. Game on the line. It's not like that was the last play. You didn't have to do that. I don't remember how much time was left, but
it was under a minute, but
yeah, but it was over 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It wasn't 5 seconds left. You got to go to the end zone.
And I think that was coming out of a timeout too.
Yeah. Yeah, I let's see. He threw that 44 seconds.
They may have. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Yeah, 44 seconds left. He threw that interception. Yeah, you were on the other side. You were on Indiana's side of the 50. You don't have to force that there. And that's what the broadcasters were like. Maybe he didn't see the safety. The corner intercepted it. He underthrew the shit out of that ball. And he was holding them back all game, dude. He's not good. He's a collegiate Trent Dilfer. Because that defense played incredible. So, but that's also what we were talking about because it's like you said, what's the money line on Miami? They were live. The Canes were live to win. And they went toe-to-toe, and in my opinion are just pure talent, the more talented team. But the difference here is coaching and Mendoza versus Carson Beck. And that's enough that they're not going to lose. And that run from Mendoza was an incredible play. And I would put that up. When you put it in the perspective of national championship on the line and they said in the post-game interview he was talking about it where if it's man, I think he said if it's man, he's supposed to pass. If it's zone, he's supposed to run. And when he snapped the ball, one side of the field was zone, the other side of the field was man. So he's like, fuck, like, what am I supposed to, like, that doesn't answer his question. It was black and white, now it's gray. And he said he just immediately just tucked it and ran. And, dude, I mean, to break that tackle the way he did and the diving into the end zone, taking the shot, holding on to the ball, that was an incredible play. And that was the difference right there. And, like, Carson Beck's underthrowing the ball by 10 yards for an interception when the game's on the line. This dude's fucking going to get in the touchdown. So they're an incredible team, very impressive team. They'd get their doors blown off by LSU. You know?
Yeah, they'd get beat by a lot of teams.
Yeah, and that's just the facts.
They get beat by a lot of teams that from that 2019 season. Like,
yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean that Clemson team was
like
fucking.
They
good.
always talk about 2020 Alabama with Mac Jones,
Mhm.
Devontae Smith winning the Heisman. I thought 2019 Alabama was way better.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy was on that team, and you had Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, yeah,
And this was before Tua had the hip injury.
yeah.
Tua's never been the same since then.
No, that was the year. What, he was having the foot issues. He had the foot surgery maybe going into the LSU game when he questionable to play.
I don't know.
I think he had something. He did the tightrope surgery or something like that.
He got hurt late in a game after the LSU game.
Yeah, okay, maybe it was after the LSU game, but yeah, it was the ankle. I think he had like that surgery that you'll hear people having every now and then. But yeah, I mean, you look at it, Miami outgained them 342 to 317. So, and I think Indiana dominated time of possession. I think Indiana knew what they had to do to win this game, and that's what it came down to. So, clearly the superior coach team, and they had the better quarterback. So tip your cap to them, though. That's what we're always going to compare to 2019 LSU. We're LSU fans. We lived it. But that doesn't take away anything. They were the best team in college football this year, and they dominated their way through the playoff, and they have the future probably mayor of Miami. I would imagine he's clearly going to set up a political run, especially he gets like an injury early in his career. See you later. Politics coming right up. But yeah, and also you passed up Bam. You took the lead. You won the year. So I go 1-1, brings me to 69, 90, and 4, 7-14 in my locks of the week. The worst season I'll ever have in my life. Guaranteed. Take my word for it. Hold me to it. You went 1-0. Miami was your lock, plus 8.5. Can I get some credit on selling you on that?
Yeah.
Well, well, give it to me. I sold the shit out of that.
This was a case where, going into the game, I was kind of questioning, I guess, this whole playoff really was like, a bet against Indiana, against Oregon, and then who'd they play first?
Bama.
Okay, we were on Indiana in that one,
Yeah.
But it was like after that Oregon game, I don't know, I started questioning, like, is this one of the all-time great teams?
Yeah, it was just fluky. There was 28 fluky points. Not like they bum rushed them with a lot of things that you can't really expect to happen every game. Pick six out the gates, not going to happen. That's probably the only time it happened to them all year. Probably won't happen again next year. Like, that's very rare. You get the strip sack inside the 5-yard line, here's another touchdown. So there was a lot of things that make the final score look worse than it actually was. So, but yeah, I mean, but I went back and watched. I mean, in real time, you went from like, in a span of 45 seconds, you were still saying where you're like, it would have to be like 10 for me to consider taking Miami. And then 30 seconds later, you're like, I'm flipping. I'm taking Miami plus 8.5. And that's when Bam was over there rubbing his hands, laughing.
Yeah, Yeah, no, my dad thought I was on Indiana. He didn't listen through for some reason.
He heard he said
He
said
lost
it would have to-
$1,000.
Stop.
No, I'm kidding.
He's like, hey,
That
it would
would
have to
be
be
funny,
10
though.
points. 10 points, good enough for me.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I hear you on, because he works with a guy that's a Miami fan, or he used to.
So my son's fucking sharp. He said he's on all over
Yeah,
Indiana.
he's like, I told him you were on Indiana. I said, you didn't listen.
Ben, what were your thoughts? What were your takeaways on this one? And how do you feel about in the final game of the year losing the lead?
Well, I had the over, so he beat me with the tiebreaker on the locks.
Oh, did you? I thought you were on. Are you sure you were not on the under?
No, I had the over, 47.5.
Yeah, he was on the over.
Okay, I
Because
thought
he thought it was going to go to overtime.
right.
Which he was somewhat close.
But why not take Miami? He was laughing when you said you were taking Miami, which
Yeah.
literally makes no sense when you think about it. He was like, I love it. You're switching to Miami. Big mistake. This game's going to overtime. So, but go ahead, man. What were your thoughts?
I don't know. It was a good game to watch. Started off slow. I was like, yeah, I'm cooked. But then that block punt happened, and I was like, we got life.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, that's horseshit. I honestly, I thought he was on the under too. Yeah, that's horseshit. That's you get 24 points in the fourth quarter of a fucking national championship game where the offenses haven't done shit all game. Yeah, but I mean, put it in the basket of me getting hosed again all fucking year. So no excuses, but
Yeah,
excuse.
you look at it, like the game and the box score and all that. This was like an NFL type game, so the under was a good play.
Yeah,
I think it just didn't win, and then
yeah, that's what you said about my first half under in the Ole Miss fucking
yeah, no,
whoever game. It's a good play, right side, loser.
But I think both of these teams perform well in the red zone, right? Other
Did
than
they?
Indiana,
I mean,
maybe.
goddamn, Miami had. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many times Miami got there. Their first touchdown was an explosive.
Does it show red zone stats on there?
Let me see.
It might not for college. For NFL, it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but I mean, I can look and see. Miami went punt, missed field goal, touchdown, which was the explosive punt, touchdown. That was the blocked punt touchdown. So yeah, they went 10 plays, 81 yards. So obviously they were 1 for 1. 8 plays, 91 yards, 2 for 2, but they only got in the red zone twice.
Yeah, the other touchdown was a long one from Fletcher.
Yeah, the problem was at the end of the game, fucking all of a sudden Miami can now move the ball and score. So yeah, no, I would take the under again. That block punt, the fact that they're blocking punts without sending pressure, intending to block the punt, like trying to sell out for it, and they're still getting there. If you go back and watch the guy, he just didn't block him at all. Like insane to me that happened, but that's just one of those. What can you fucking do? I guess, like, you know.
Yeah, and going back to the end of the game, I think it was 3rd and 1. And they got tackled for a loss, if I'm remembering correctly now. Because I remember thinking that
On the block punt?
at the end of the game, Indiana, like if Indiana got the first down, they could have kneeled it out.
Oh, it was very close, yeah.
So I think it was
close.
3rd and 1, and they got tackled for a loss, and that's why they couldn't go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, it was very close. And if it wasn't 3rd and 1, it was 3rd and 2. It was around that. And yeah, no, there was a chance where it's like.
Because I remember thinking like Miami burned their timeout, and I was like, oh shit, like
yeah,
it's just in the bag. Like they're about to pick up the first down, and
no, I
if they
tweeted
don't
out. I was
score,
like,
then it's gonna be over.
I tweeted out. I said, if Indiana finishes his drive with kneel downs, we have a double winner. It's that simple. And I mean, so would have fucking won a fortune at that point if you can get both of them. But you're a yard, 2 yards away from them kneeling it out and getting out of the game with under and Miami covering. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's on brand for this season. It's been a disaster this year, and I'm changing my approach next year. So, It is what it is. You go 60, 59, and 3, 14 and 7 in your locks of the week, which is spectacular. Bam, what was your record?
41, 40, and 1, 10 and 9 on the locks of the week.
Still positive or above 500. So, yeah, there you go. That closes out year 7 of college football in the books. I'll always remember it as a fucking disaster. But it's always bittersweet. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty fucking happy this one's over. Normally I dread it, and then we got to go the long haul with no football, and fuck this year. I'm over. I'm done with this college football season. I'm ready for it to be over, and I look forward to next year. So now we will recap another disaster, and that was the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And then we'll get to our best bets coming up. What can you fucking do, I guess? Bills, Broncos at the under 46.5. There was no funny business here. This was just not great. So you got 17 points from Denver in the second quarter, compliments of Josh Allen fumbling the ball like a loaf of bread right before halftime. The Bills gave up the deep ball, if I remember correctly. Clearly, Denver's willing to take the 3 points. Buffalo needs to allow them to take that 3 points. They didn't want to give them anything. Somehow you get one-on-one coverage and allow a touchdown, which is just fucking unbelievable. And then you turn right back around if you're Josh Allen and you're scrambling, holding the ball like a loaf of bread, fumbling it 10 yards closer for a field goal right before half. What are your takeaways on Josh Allen? Do you put any blame on him?
I put all of it on him.
Okay.
With that being said, he's the only reason that they're any good.
Yes, but he's also the reason they lost this game.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So, is he the best player in football?
I don't know.
I don't know either, and I think we might need to pump the brakes on it. In all seriousness, because they go down, they got in a big hole because of him. The defense that ended the half sequence was fucking dumb. But the interceptions he was throwing, that fumble at the end, you go down into a hole, and then you come out of halftime and you give up 3 points. You're holding a field goal. The defense allowed them to have the opportunity to get back in that game. And that's the thing. Like, Josh Allen is an incredible player, but the amount of times he was missing throws, you've got the Brandon Cooks controversy, which we'll get to that in 1 second. Cooks had a step on him, and we were talking about that a little bit. Cooks had a step on him. If you put that ball on him, if that's not an underthrown ball, guaranteed completion. If not, who knows? Maybe he walks it off for a touchdown. Josh Allen was missing throws all day. He was making questionable decisions, putting the ball into harm's way, not protecting the football. Him crying at the post game, thinking I let my team down, and this, that. You did. So it's like you certainly did. And at what point are you going to fucking figure out how to manage the game? Because that's what Mahomes has figured out. Mahomes can do all that shit, but then he realized too, like, you're playing the game within the game to not fucking lose. You don't have to go be a hero every single play. I just have that burned into my brain, him holding the ball the way he was, running with it like a moron right before half. To do that at this point, and you're winning MVP trophies and you're doing this and that, to still run and hold the ball like that is crazy to me. Like, inexcusable.
Yeah, and that really should have been kneeling there.
Yeah, fucking.
I don't know, like,
if I'm being completely honest with you, I left to go pick something up. I walked out of the house. And you texted, you said, Jesus. I said, what the fuck? I said, no, I don't know what happened. But I'm like, I thought we were going to halftime. I pulled up my phone. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It went from we should be sitting at like 20 points going into half. Now we're at 30. And we're on pace for 60. We should have been on pace for 40. So, but you were having success running the ball with James Cook. This, for me, falls entirely on Josh Allen. And I think we have to pump the brakes on how good we think he is, because it was on a platter for you this year with Mahomes, the Chiefs being down, Herbert being a fraud, Burrow getting hurt again, Lamar being Lamar, and not as good as advertised. All the top teams coming in were nowhere to be found. You've got the Patriots on a fucking generational, just waltz right through to the Super Bowl run. And this is a team that, would they split with them or did they beat them twice?
They split.
But it was competitive both games, and like, you should have been setting this up to, I don't know. I think we got to pump the brakes on Josh Allen and being the best player in the league and this and that. And it's like, until you prove that you can go win when it matters most, then what are we? You're not better than Mahomes. You're not better than Burrow. He's proven he can get to the Super Bowl. You're not, in my opinion, you got to go. This was not a great Broncos team. Like, that defense has been trending the wrong way the last month or so, and I don't think Bo Nix is that fucking good. I don't think he played that great. I think he fucking won the game when he had to. When it came time to go do it, I got to give him credit where it's due. But I didn't think Bo Nix played that spectacular, you know?
Yeah.
Bam, do you think Brandon Cooks and McMillan, do you think that should have been a catch or an interception?
I think it should have been a catch. I saw different.
Texted.
Yeah.
He texted and said.
Because.
Why do you think that should have been a catch?
I just don't like, first off, I just don't like the way they handled it, where they were so quick to say it wasn't a catch. You need to go a little
That's
bit.
not relevant to me, though, because I get what you're saying. Yes, you would like to see a little more attention to detail. Let's make sure we got it right. I think they got it right. So, but my question is, what about that makes it a catch in your opinion?
So I saw like some alternate angle of it where he's got the ball cradled, his knees on the ground, and McMillan's hands are extended out, like falling on top of him. So right then and there, that should be. It's kind of like the same thing that happened in what was it, the Texans game, or what am I thinking?
Are you thinking of Devontae Adams?
Yeah.
You're probably thinking of Devontae Adams over the middle where they ripped the ball out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same situation, and I don't know. They needed better camera angles to truly tell, but just from that one angle that I saw where he's got it with his knee on the ground and McMillan's arms are extended, I don't think you can clearly say that he had possession of the ball whenever they were on the ground.
Who are you referring to, McMillan?
Yeah, like whenever he had his hands extended and then he rolled over.
Brandon
Cooks.
That's not the point in question. That McMillan came up with the ball never touched the ground. So the question is, did Brandon Cooks secure the ball long enough for it to be deemed a catch before McMillan took it from him? That's the question.
Yeah.
And the answer, in my opinion, is no, because you got to think of it in real speed and how many. So my question is this: if that ball ends up on the ground, do you think they're calling it a catch? If that ball's ripped out and not secured by McMillan, you think that's a catch still? Because that ball was out of Cooks' hands before he completed a full roll. He's running, gets the ball, he's on his left shoulder or whatever, he's on the first shoulder on the ground, and as he's rolling, before he even completes a full roll, the ball's out of his hands.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a gray area. I'm going
to be honest, that one's pretty black and white to me, and I question who really believes it and who's trying to get engagement out of it on social media, because it's going to get you clicks for sure. But that one was pretty damn black and white.
I don't think
opinion.
Cooks ever had any type of possession.
Yeah, well, it's like
let's say he had, the ball was pinned funkily.
Yeah,
like he had it. It wasn't like he had it, traditional catch.
Yeah,
that's what I wonder. I wonder, how is the rule interpreted? Like, let's say he did have clear possession and he goes to the ground, a body part's down, and then it gets wrestled away from him, all in one action, though.
And that's the complete difference, in my opinion, of the Devontae Adams catch. Because, one, it's not a deep ball, so it's right over the middle. Catch, got it. He goes down, knee down. It's in a quick motion, but exactly what you're referring to, and I think that is how it's interpreted. He clearly catches, secures the ball, knee down, he's touched, and then they rip it out in a very bang-bang play, but it's completely different from a fucking 40, 50-yard deep ball where you're both going for it. He's catching it, and the rule is you have to secure it through the catch. So it's like Devontae Adams, if there's nobody there, he catches that ball. If he's going down, he catches that ball, goes down to a knee. Cooks is in a full sprint, like laying out for the ball. And so that's, say if you take the defender out of the equation, if he lays out for that ball and he has it, if it hits the ground and then the ball comes loose, you didn't control it through the process of the catch. So it's not a catch. That would have been an incomplete pass. So when you when you add into the equation that the only difference was that a defender yanked it from him, it's an interception. Ball never ended up on the ground. It's an interception. If that ball just gets ripped out and it ends up on the ground and they call it incomplete, nobody's saying anything. There's no controversy. There's no people up in arms. So the only difference is the fact that it was an interception and it was a critical swing play in a playoff game for people that for a team that's backed by a quarterback that everybody loves.
Yeah. See, I still wonder though, like if he did have clear possession, even though it would have only been for a moment, and then he goes to the ground, and then the ball gets pulled away. I thought the way the play actually happened was he never had clear possession.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you're saying.
Like at all, not for one split second.
Yeah.
Like that ball was.
Well, I think what we're doing too. So there is a point where the ball's moving and it stops moving. So he's kind of like got it nudged, but it's not like he's like secured it two hands and tucked it away. It just stops moving for a second. So if you're slowing everything down into like frame by frame, then of course you can go like, oh, ball's not moving. Like he must have it right there. It's like, yeah, speed it up a little bit, and then the ball might continue to move. So everybody overanalyzes pausing and things like that. You got to, like, when you're right there, that's fucking a split second of a play, like that. And he got the ball, got it ripped out, rolled over. So you can't freeze it to that extent. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, fuck, like interception. It was a no-brainer. So I get the argument of you'd like him to look at it and this and that, but I thought it was the right call. I don't see how. I think literally if you take that defender out of the equation and that ball ends up on the ground, he didn't control it through the catch. You got to control it through the ground. That's the rule. I guess the Des Bryant rule, whatever you want to call it. And we've seen plenty of times where the guy does have it, though, and they're going to the ground, and he yanks it away. Like, you'll see it in the end zone sometimes. Like, they want you to control the ball, and then it's kind of like the Isaiah Likely. A little different, I guess, but I guess not, where he's holding it like a dipshit instead of pulling it in, and then they hit it out, and they're like, no catch. So what's the difference, I guess, you know?
Yeah, it's a strange rule, though, with the
I guess, yeah, he wasn't on the ground.
And possession and all that. Like, the tie goes to the offense in the rule book, but I do think that they probably officiate that type of play, a little bit different than a standard catch.
Yeah.
Like, let's say he actually had solid possession, the same way the play folded out and then it got wrestled out, I think they call it a catch. But I think because he didn't really have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was the right call for what it's worth. But yeah, so under 46.5, there was 63 points scored in this one. If you go to overtime, it's not under time. We were already dead by that point. You were on Bills in a pick'em. Yeah, I mean, look, you got the stop in overtime, and you got the ball back. It's time to go win the game at that point if you're Josh Allen, and couldn't do it. Texans +3 was my second play. And so let me preface with this, because we didn't have action on Niners Seahawks, which was, well, I guess you did. Actually, I forgot about that. So you were on Niners +7.5.
Yeah.
Opening kick return for a touchdown. Shout out Rashid Shaheed. That was a wrap from then. That was pretty symbolic of the night. I'm going to be honest. I stopped watching as intently because it was that bad. What do you have any takeaways? Was the defense that good?
Yeah, it was a defensive. Like, you see 41 points scored by Seattle. Wasn't because of their offense.
Yeah, just an onslaught.
Yeah,
defensively. Yeah, look, Kittle being out for Niners is a big deal. But that Seahawks defense, man, is a fucking problem. And So, okay. Texans, Patriots. I took the Texans +3 because I felt like the defense could make this a one-possession game, and they did more than enough. The problem for the Texans' defense was that the fumbles that they forced, either they couldn't recover them or they couldn't return them for touchdowns. So I will preface with the fact that I understand the Texans' offense was supposed to have Joe Mixon coming into this season. They didn't. Woody Marks came in banged up. Nico Collins wasn't in the game. Dalton Schultz exited the game with an injury. With all of that being said, C.J. Stroud, given the circumstances of it being playoff football, had the worst fucking performance I've ever seen in my entire life. The worst quarterback plus play calling performance. The amount of times they rolled him out to the fucking left. But it's like, my question is C.J. Stroud like the Ron Burgundy of the fucking NFL? Just because they're rolling you out to the left and there's a free rusher and it was a shit play call doesn't mean you have to throw it. You could fucking eat it and take a sack. But C.J. Stroud, it's like, I'm going to read whatever's on the motherfucking teleprompter. You tell me to throw it to the left, there's 3 defenders right there, I'm throwing it to the left. Can we fucking turn our brain on for 5 goddamn seconds and make a decision and stop handing them the ball? The interception to Carlton Davis, what the fuck is he throwing to? The pick 6. If you're the Texans, you're fucked. You're fucked because you have an incredible defense. You just need somebody that's not completely brain dead at quarterback to get you to, in this year, the fucking Super Bowl. And you're about to pay $50 million to somebody that's brain dead. This was the worst performance. He's been chasing, getting back to that rookie season, trying to duplicate that success, hasn't been able to do it. It's getting worse and worse by the year. He was fucking horrific all year. And that game was very winnable. You have a defense that did what they did. He was 20 of 47. He threw 4 fucking interceptions. What are your thoughts? I think it was the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen in postseason history.
Yeah, I think
given the expectations, if Stidham goes out and does that next week, he doesn't have the same expectations. This is a fucking guy who was the number 2 overall pick, lit it up his rookie season. He's considered on paper by people, I guess, that like the casual fan is looking at C.J. Stroud as like a top 10 quarterback, definitely top 15. But I would bet you a lot of people really like Stroud because they remember what he did his rookie year, and they would put him in like the top 10 category. So given those expectations and the overall sentiment around him, worst performance I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think, the rookie year really went to Stroud's head. Right.
Yeah, remember that clip? It started surfacing again because the internet will fucking bury you when you have a bad game. But he put himself top 3, I guess. Yeah. He's like Mahomes. He didn't put Burrow in the fucking top 5. He put himself up there, and then he's telling Caleb Williams, like, after that first game, he's like, you got all the tools. It's like, shut the fuck up, pal. Who the fuck are you to tell anybody anything? I would take Caleb Williams a million times over before C.J. Stroud. Because Caleb Williams is he's flamboyant, but he's a magician. This dude, I think C.J. Stroud, he started dating Amber Rose after his rookie year. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And he was rattled. He looked like a little baby about to cry. I was like, we're dead. We're dead. He looks like, I don't know. I think it did go to his head, but
I mean, this guy wasn't that great at Ohio State.
I do remember that game at the end of the year, though, maybe against Clemson or somebody.
Yeah, he had an incredible.
Maybe Georgia.
He finally had an incredible game, and they came up short. It was against Georgia.
I remember saying, like, this dude can fucking play. I was so impressed.
And they missed a field goal to win it.
Yes. No, he's talented, though. That's the thing. Like, he's just, I think I literally tweeted out where I was like, it's a catch-22 of, like, this dude is super talented but super dumb. So it's got to be like, you got to tell him exactly, like, he's got to have an incredible coordinator. Like, throw a great ball to well, not even. He threw some shitty balls, but clearly the weather was bothering him. But you'll see him make throws where it's like he is talented. He's a talented player for sure. He's just retarded is the best way to sum it up, I think.
Yeah.
So this one was frustrating because I'm going to be honest with you. People are going to, the Dan Orlovskis of the world are going to tell you that Drake May played incredible and this and that. I didn't think he played that great. I really didn't. I think he's a much better player than C.J. Stroud. But the ball security, the inability to feel where the pressure's coming from, your left tackle, pal, the guy who struggled the week before, Will Campbell, was getting eaten alive by Will Anderson. So, but this is also an incredible defense too. So with that being said, I just wasn't blown away by Drake May's performance. I think the opportunity was clearly there for the Texans to win this game if you get a competent effort from C.J. Stroud, and that just means don't fucking turn the ball over and hand them points over and over again. So we had that, and then were you on this game, Bam?
Yeah, I had the Patriots -3, and then I had the under in the game also. So split that 1-1.
And then Rams -3.5 was my lock of the week. And then this is what I'm saying. It's the game we play. You're going to have tough breaks, and I understand how it goes. Rams -3.5. You're sitting up a touchdown, 4th and 5, game on the line. Caleb Williams scrambles backwards, and something about this fucking guy. I like him. Don't get me wrong. I would take Caleb Williams in a heartbeat. He's another one of the. He's not as dumb, and he's more talented. And that's the thing where you go back and show the footage where he's throwing across his body and making these wacky throws in college, and the arm talent's there, but he's a little reckless. It's like that's how he's able to complete these fucking miracle plays. And this year, nobody is going to come out better in a loss than Caleb Williams and this Bears team, because the expectations were not high. They're kind of like this year's Commanders with Jaden Daniels, or last year's Commanders with Jaden Daniels. The expectations were not to go to a Super Bowl in Ben Johnson's first season, and you went toe-to-toe with this team. And I don't even think it was a push-off on that 4th and 5. A lot of people were calling for a push-off. I think they were hand-fighting, and then, who was it? Komet, he was just stronger. And it wasn't like a blatant, like he pushed the fuck out of him, in my opinion. It might have been a minor push-off, but yeah, Caleb Williams scrambles 30 yards backwards, just launches one. And that's where the arm talent comes in, because he fucking put it on a rope into the back corner of the end zone. Off his back foot, same shit like that throw against the Packers. Extremely impressive play to just get the ball there. And you see him, same thing. Every time you see this guy start backpedaling and running backwards, unless we take him against some motherfucking 49ers, he starts backpedaling there, he's going to dirt the ball. But if we're on the opposite side, he's going to throw a fucking frozen rope to the back corner of the end zone. And so that was unfortunate. He doesn't complete that improbable play. Rams win and cover. Same thing with the Packers the week before. Caleb Williams has cost me a fucking fortune, man. But what can you do, I suppose? With that being said, we're sitting on Rams futures bets. I can't say I was that mad because I was pretty fucking happy that the Rams won the game. What are your takeaways from this one outside of, I don't know about you, but I wish the Rams would play better. And I'm hoping they fucking start doing it this week.
Yeah, what was the final score here?
20-17. You were on the over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, even like, it wasn't really till, really late in the game that I was like, okay. I don't know. It just wasn't many points scored here.
What do you mean? Like you weren't worried?
Yeah, even at
wasn't
halftime
really
when
either.
it was low scoring, I was like, oh, the teams are still – it doesn't look like the offenses are not capable.
Mm-hmm.
It just was a strange game. And then, I bet the Rams -2.5, so I kind of – I don't know, wasn't really all that focused on the over at that point.
Yeah. You literally said you were swearing off live betting.
Yeah, until you can get
a great number. Yeah. With that being said, we are pretty fucking lucky, actually. Like, now it's coming back to me. Because they're at midfield. And I was like, oh my God. I was
Well, we're pretty lucky, but that fucking backpedaling play was pretty fucking
No,
lucky.
that was a miracle
that
too.
Never even.
But there's a scenario where we don't even get to that, and the Bears win by a field goal because he throws that interception, and I'm sitting there, I'm watching, and I'm sweating bad at this point because it got a fucking small fortune on this Rams team now, and in my head I was like, there's just no way. Like, there's no way they can keep pulling rabbits out of their hat. And I said to myself, I was like, he's got to throw the interception on this play. And then he throws it to nobody. I said, holy shit. Fucking incredible dive and interception. Looks like DJ Moore just decided to take a play off. Appreciate you. But I was like, I was talking to Lindsay. I was like, he did it. I was like, because she knows that we're heavily invested on this team. And I was like, I can't believe he fucking did that. But he threw multiple throughout the game. He's a wild card. He's going to throw the best throw you ever see and then the worst throw you ever see in back-to-back drives.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I was like, you start to feel like we're supposed to win. Like, fucking Rams are America's team. And I get it. As Saints fans, we're supposed to hate the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I used to fucking hate the Rams.
I don't care anymore. If they beat the Seahawks, I'm buying a Rams jersey. I don't fucking care. If they're going to make me thousands of dollars, sign me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I keep seeing everybody that I know like, I hate the Rams. I was like, I hope the Rams win every goddamn game by 100. I hope they build a statue of McVay if he wins the Super Bowl this year. That's what it's come down to. I'll never forget what they did to me. But that was Jared Goff, and where's he at? Costing us a fortune. Because we keep fucking taking him at the end of the year. Bam, what were you on in this game? Anything?
I had the Rams -3.5.
Yeah, in all seriousness, an absolute disaster. And this has been a fucking shitty run throughout the postseason. But we could be having a much different conversation so easily. Like, we could be like, wow, we did it again. We fucking win in the postseason. Like, it's been coin flips, like differences. So I go 0-3, still sitting at 56, 43-1, 12-8 in my locks of the week. You go 0-3, still sitting at 38, 32-2, 12-7-1 in your locks of the week.
And I went 1-2, puts me at 36, 35-2, 10-9 locks of the week.
And we have 2 games this weekend, and then we got to figure out what we're going to do for the Super Bowl episode, because that's the episode that we don't have to do midweek. We can do on the weekend. I think what we do is, among all of our other bets, we each come to the table with a favorite prop. I think I took a prop that I blindly tailed him on a prop last year, I think, that had no shot. Cost me a fucking...
Yeah, his best prop was Saquon
First
Barkley,
quarter.
first quarter. And he wonders why I asked him about the first quarter stats.
That evened out with the heads bet, though. We're good.
Bam.
Sharpest heads bet ever.
Yeah, bam. Did you just say that evened out with the coin toss?
Damn right.
Bam. Come on now. But yeah, I think I'm just thinking out loud, but we got to all 3 come to the table with our favorite Super Bowl prop. Can be anything, and you got to parlay it. It's got to be parlayable, I guess. And we parlay it. And then you take whatever else you want. So don't try to get fucking cute, Bam. He's going to come with a first
I'm feeling good about this year.
Oh, fuck. Bam, you're fucking thinking about steaks for 50 guests. So, yeah, 2 games to go. Starting it off Sunday. Patriots and Broncos. You got the Broncos at home. 5.5-point underdogs. Total sits at 42.5. Broncos are heavy underdogs for obvious reasons. Bo Nix sends his team to the conference championship after an incredible last couple drives in that fourth quarter. And then you find out he breaks his ankle. You got to feel for Sean Payton as a Saints fan. It also sucks in terms of the quality of the game of what we thought we were going to get and what we are getting now. My question is, actually, do you feel good about this one?
No.
I think it's hard to feel great about it. Bam, do you have the numbers pulled up?
Yeah.
What's the first half numbers?
First half, best available, 2.5 points.
Impossible.
So I'm looking at it right now.
There's no threes. There's no 3.5.
You can get
a 3.
There's juice 3.5s.
Yeah.
What's FanDuel
Past
offering?
120.
FanDuel is plus 2.5, even money.
What?
But you can get plus 3.5 on DraftKings.
It's what, minus 120 something.
Minus
Minus
120.
120.
Fuck.
You get plus 3 on Caesars though for minus 110.
I want plus 3. I want plus 3.5. And I have plus 3.5 for what it's worth, but we took it before we recorded. What are you thinking with this one? My question is what's the difference between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham? I
think there's a good bit of difference, but
I think there's 3 points.
this is showing a huge difference.
Yeah. Out to 5.5. But that's why I wanted to take a first half angle. And I would love 3.5. I mean, it's a fucking huge difference, to be honest with you. But for the sake of the fucking show, I'll take the Broncos first half plus 3. Reason being, as Saints fans, we more than anyone know what it's like to see a team rally behind your quarterback getting hurt. We saw it with Drew Brees when he fractured the ribs and he messed up his finger, I think, against the Rams. And you have Teddy Bridgewater come in over the course of like 8 weeks, go 6-2, something like that. We've seen the power of a good defense rallying in the wake of their injured quarterback. Just so happened that we saw it firsthand with Sean Payton as the head coach as well. I think that Sean Payton's still elite at scripting opening drives. I think he's one of the best offensive minds in the NFL. I think Jarrett Stidham has shown in years past that he's capable of moving the football. He's a guy that's been in the league for a while. I don't think that it's as big of a downgrade from Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham as what this line is telling you. You've got the home crowd behind you. You've got one of the better defenses in football. I don't think this defense is as good as the Texans defense, but I do think that they are in the same stratosphere. You saw that Texans defense bother Drake May. I'll take the Broncos first half plus 3. Come out with some fire. Sean Payton, Sean Payton likes the challenge. There's no doubt about it. You could tell in the press conference. And I think he's looking at this too as that Texans defense would eat Jarrett Stidham alive. They would have eaten Bo Nix alive as well. You get the better option here with the Patriots defense. You also don't have to worry about, I mean, really, that's the main thing. You get the better option in terms of the defense. So he's got to trust his defense and feel pretty good about the matchup, in my opinion. I'll take Broncos first half plus 3. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I'm up in the air about this one because I do think that, it's probably, too much of a downgrade here. I think it's, I don't know, a little bit head scratching why this is sitting at 5.5 when the Broncos are playing at home, and you kind of consider the struggles the Patriots have had lately protecting Drake May. Will Campbell's got short arms, and apparently that matters now. But then it's like, on the other hand, it's like, okay, the Patriots have 5 turnovers in 2 games in the playoffs. And luckily for them, or give them the credit, they've had these turnovers while they've had the lead as well. So they haven't been like detrimental. Mm-hmm. And Drake May just never, it's not like next it's almost he's nonchalant about it, but in a good way.
Yeah, he doesn't get rattled.
Because, it's like next series, it's back to normal, and unless if he gets strip sacked again or something. But
yeah. No, CJ Stroud was rattled. You could see in his face.
Yeah, it's never like the play was too big,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like sometimes you kind of want the quarterback to, be a little bit more urgent about what's going on, but I don't know. It's like I look at this Denver defensively number 1 in sack percentage, and then you kind of look at, okay, can they take advantage of, New England's protection deficiencies so far that we've seen recently? But then again, it's like, I don't know. I kind of wonder, unless if they can, force some turnovers while they have the lead, what happens? Because it's just like, and with that being said, the New England defense also has been playing extremely well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's tough. I do think the Patriots offense is either number 1 or number 2 offense in the NFL. With that being said, it's like they're not that great of a running team.
I also don't think they have the best skill position players. It's what I said going into the Texans game. And I think McMillan, like I said, I singled him out as probably the best slot corner in the league. Where are you going to put Stephon Diggs? You can line him up in the slot. You can line him up on the outside. It's like you've got guys. Like I said, that Denver defense has kind of trended the opposite direction a little bit, like a little bit of a fall off, in my opinion, from what we saw.
Yeah.
But they're still damn good. Yeah, you've had the corner, blanking on his name, Alabama, one of the best corners in the league.
Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain. He had been battling injuries throughout the year and all of that. But it's like you still got an elite guy on the outside as well. So you've got Hufanga at tight end. At safety to cover the tight ends. They've got guys all across the field. I think that they can match up in a similar way with as the Texans did. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. You line them up, and you got to make me pick. My life's on the line. Who's quarterbacking for me? I'm taking fucking Jarrett Stidham before I take C.J. Stroud. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious.
Yeah, I think, diving into this game, another thing that kind of popped out was the Broncos pass the ball a lot.
Yeah.
As far as pass play percentage, I think they're top 10 in the NFL. Run play percentage, they're 24th. So you wonder, with Stidham at quarterback, are they still going to have this type of run pass split, or are they going to try to lean on the run more here? And if they do decide to lean on the run more here, are they going to be able to have enough success running it against this Patriots defense? So it's like I hate when there's a quarterback injury, because to me it's kind of makes it pretty tough to assess, and because there's just a lot of unknowns. We haven't seen Stidham play in how long?
Since 2023, I think.
And, when they drafted Bo Nix, I don't think he played bad in that preseason. It was just like, they spent a top 10 pick on this guy. They wanted to play him right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You wonder what he's got, if he's got enough to keep this close. Another thing is, like we talk about, the Patriots protecting the passer, that being a weakness. Denver offensively is number 1 in sack percentage allowed. So a lot of that probably has to do with Bo Nix's ability to scramble. But they don't take a lot of sacks, so I don't know. This one's super tough. We're just gonna go Broncos plus 5.5.
Okay. Ben, which way are you going for this one?
I'm going Patriots minus 4.5. You can get 4.5s, by the way.
Why the fuck would he want 4.5?
I'm just saying on this end.
Okay. Okay. All right. NFC Championship, Rams and Seahawks. The rubber match. We've seen these two teams play twice. In the first matchup, the Rams won by 2 in a game that was largely dominated in the box score by Seattle. And in the second matchup, the opposite. You've got the Seahawks making an improbable comeback when they were down, I don't even remember what it was, 3 scores. And did it go to overtime? I think it did. Just an incredible game in terms of a fan's viewing perspective, not if you were on the Rams like you were.
Yeah.
But yes, if you were on the Seahawks like I was. That game is one of the main reasons that I am now heavily invested in the Rams to win the Super Bowl, because the Rams, it took a Christmas miracle for Seattle to pull that win out. Rashid Shaheed returned a punt for a touchdown. It was a number of different things. So with that being said, you've got the Seahawks at home, 2.5-point favorites. The total sits at 47.5. The Seahawks have largely had a cakewalk to the NFC Championship. You had the first round bye. You got to play the 49ers at home without George Kittle after having to go to a back-to-back against the 49ers as well, after going to Philly, playing in the cold. And they beat them 41-6. And you return the opening kick for a touchdown, and it was 17-0 after the first quarter. But when you look at the yards, Seattle had 281 yards of offense. The 49ers had 236. Time of possession was a difference of 3 minutes. Really 2. Rushing, not that big of a discrepancy. San Francisco was 6 of 12 on third down. Seattle was 4 of 10. It's a pretty head-scratching box score when you look at the final score. Like, you look at this box score, turnovers obviously 3-0. 49ers turned it over 3 times. You look at this box score, you do not come away with a 41-6. So the Rams, on the other hand, have had to pretty much scratch and claw their way in games that you were expected to beat Carolina by double digits. You win 34-31 when you need some late heroics by Stafford and Parkinson. Then you got to go back on the road again to Chicago in the cold. You win 20-17 in overtime. So you've got a pretty well-rested Seahawks team at home, one of the toughest environments to play, possibly the best defense left, or best defense in the league. Which way are you going, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think, you mentioned it. The previous matchups were kind of opposites of each other. The first game, like, Seattle did dominate the box score other than turnovers, but then it's like that happened a lot of times when you do turn the ball over a lot. It's like, okay, the box score is going to be skewed a little bit because 2 of the Rams' touchdowns were a result of, like, extremely short field position.
Yeah.
From Sam Darnold interceptions. And it's like you also kind of remember the way the game was playing out. The Rams were up 9 late in that game, and Seattle ends up scoring with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left to make it a 2-point game. They ended up actually getting the ball back, and Myers missed a 61-yard field goal to win. Then the second game, that was a painful game for me. It was dominated by the Rams, in my opinion. They had 581 yards of offense. 500 of them came in regulation. And it was all against the NFL's best defense without Devontae Adams as well.
Yep.
So
24 points for Seattle in the fourth quarter and overtime.
It's like, kind of with that being said, though, that was, maybe outside of that Cardinals game, that was the last time the Rams looked that damn good. So, I don't know. This is tough because, the Rams have struggled as of late, but then Seattle offensively really hasn't been forced to do much since they played Los Angeles for the second time. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I would predict that Seattle is going to have to put together some offense here to win this game. I'm going to go Rams plus 2.5. I just think they were probably the better team in both of these games. With that being said, it's like you kind of wonder, is Darnold going to have the turnover issues again? I think that'd be kind of I'm expecting him not to this time.
I agree.
Like, I think it would be kind of strange if it was again and again and again.
Yeah, so through the 2 matchups, he's thrown for 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions. And they were some pretty brutal interceptions. If you remember, in that last game that they won, he threw an interception to the D lineman on the goal line. Like, tough decisions, bad throws, couple miscommunications, but for the most part, it was him doing that thing where he starts seeing ghosts again. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Rams as well. The spot could not be more ideal for Seattle with the rest, the home field, a serious crowd behind you. But yeah, I think back to that game, and that was the Puka Nacua 200 plus yards, couldn't stop him game. You've got Devontae Adams back. Noteworthy, not anything that's a stop the presses, I suppose, but noteworthy is that Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL. So you went from a team that had two quality running backs who could go for 100 yards in a heartbeat. Now you've got one. Granted, I do think Kenneth Walker's the better of the two, and that does equate more carries for him and less split in the backfield, but that does make a difference. But yeah, it comes down to, at what point is it like the Rams just have Sam Darnold figured out? Or I mean, if he throws another 4 interceptions, then it's just like, okay, like, what can you do? They just have his number, and they're throwing looks at him and confusing him, and they got him right where they want him, and there's nothing he can do about it. I don't think he's going to do that. I would be shocked. But there's no way he's going into that game not thinking about that a little bit. Like, that's definitely – like, so how aggressive is he going to be? How quick on the trigger is he going to be, knowing that he's thrown 6 interceptions and 1 touchdown against this team this season? So I don't know how many interceptions he's got on the year, but I would imagine it's not that many. Let's look it up and see, just for my knowledge. He's got showing postseason, of course. Can't just
I think
be
it's a decent bit, though. Over
14?
Yeah.
But he's got almost half against the damn Rams.
Right.
50% of his interceptions nearly have come against the Rams. I think the Rams are the better team. I have to question. You don't just forget how to be good. So they've kind of just I'm hoping that this is where we see the Rams kind of snap back, snap out of the funk that they've been in on the road against Carolina, on the road against Chicago. Because the thing about those games, at the end of the day, it's like I texted you. When the Rams were lucky enough to get that ball back after the Caleb Williams interception, I said, this has got to be the time for Stafford. Stafford's got to – you go into that game, you take the Rams because of Stafford over Caleb Williams. And he fucking did. That throw to Devontae Adams from the opposite hash, that throw on the out route, a fucking incredible throw, dude. That throw does not get enough credit. You saw it against Carolina, the throw to Parkinson to put the game away. When it comes time to make the play, I trust Stafford more than anybody else in the league right now to make that play. I need to see Sean McVay fucking – I didn't like the play calling against Chicago. I thought the run-in relentlessly, and I thought some of the decision-making was subpar and not what we've been accustomed to seeing from Sean McVay. So I'm going to go back to the well with the Rams again, and I am worried as someone sitting on a hefty Rams futures bet. For what it's worth, I'm sitting on a Seahawks 12-1 futures bet as well. But if the Seahawks win it all, we'll make money. If the Rams win it all, we'll make a fucking lot more money. So we're pulling for the Rams, and we're going to take them this week plus 2.5. Bam, which way are you going?
Going the Rams plus 2.5.
Okay. Rams will be my lock. Which one will be your lock?
Yeah, Los Angeles.
You as well, Bam? Or are you going
Patriots?
Oh, you love the Patriots, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Big mistake. There you go. That is our best bets for Conference Championship weekend. I want to be sitting back here in a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever, talking about how the Rams are going to the Super Bowl, and it's just going to make for a more exciting game when you've got boatloads of cash riding on the game. So I hope that's what happens, but I am worried about it. Episode 251, real quick to recap, I am taking Broncos first half plus 3, Rams plus 2.5. I'm worried that threes are going to pop closer to kick. But what can you do? You're taking.
Broncos plus 5.5 and Rams plus 2.5.
Yeah, did I say? Yeah, no, okay. Bam.
I'm going Patriots minus 4.5 and Rams plus 2.5.
That is our best bets for NFC or NFL conference championships. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. It's been a tough go in the postseason, but we got to get back to the window. Episode 251 is in the books. Anything to say? Did I already say that?
Nope.
Anything to say, Bam?
Nope.
Bam, next week or whenever we're back for the Super Bowl episode, we expect you to come back with answers on this party and food, hors d'oeuvres, mini games, the whole 9 yards. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this, a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.